technology that is built for your every sense. Aesa Pure from Aesa.
And we're leading with that story on this edition of the news. Amid tariff tensions, Donald Trump's aide Peter Navarro is claiming that India is coming to the trade table ahead of Delhi talks. Now, Peter Navarro is attacking India once again. He's going on to say that refiners are profiting from war while trade wars are hurting American workers. So that's the latest when it comes to Peter Navarro. He says, and I quote, I don't think, the Prime Minister, that is the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, felt comfortable standing together on a stage with China. That is what Peter Navarro said. Chaudhary joining us live on this broadcast. Good morning, Srinjoy. We're seeing progress in the talks, in the trade talks, a thaw of sorts after there were hostilities between India and US. But Peter Navarro constantly criticizing India, blaming India. Do you think this is happening without, say, directions from his top bosses? And how do you look at this criticism coming on a day which is very important in the progress when negotiators are going to talk today with regards to the trade deal?
The timing of the talks is very important. Now, the important question is, more than the fact whether the President knows or the Secretary of State knows or the Secretary of the Treasury knows, what kind of message is it to people junior to him, the negotiators who are in India, to talk with the Indians? So that's the first thing. Second, how will India see this? Will India see this as pressure tactic? Because if this is a way of putting pressure on India, it will do just the opposite. Because India is a country that has had a history. And after 200 years of colonialism, India doesn't like being spoken to and told what to do. Now, if you're going to say Maharaja of tariff and how it feels to see Narendra Modi with Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin and so on, then it's a negative message to India. India would not like to hear it. So if you're trying to browbeat India by saying that, look, you guys are the Maharajas of tariff and so on, you're doing exactly the opposite.
Right.
So that is a point that Navarro should understand. Besides, what is America saying? For long years, the Americans have actually supported India's purchase of Russian crude. And saying that this will actually bring the price of, keep the price of world's crude oil down. And secondly, when India has refined that same crude and exported it to Russia, then America has said we've designated it as Indian refined oil. Now this volte-face is actually surprising for India.
Absolutely. And not just that the Americans support it, Srinjoy, they encouraged it. Now, also take us through what's likely today, because this is going to be the first time that in-person trade talks are going to be held after tariffs were slapped. Statements coming in from both sides, especially the kind of position taken by US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Do you think the talks will go in a positive direction?
Let's take a positive view of it, if nothing else. Keeping in mind what the Prime Minister has said, what the President has said, and the fact that both countries actually will benefit from it. Let's not forget that. That is actually the bottom line. That if there is an FTA, America benefits, India benefits. There's no doubt about that. So it's extremely important for the negotiators to sit down, keep away the chaff of all this talk about corn, import of American corn by India and so on, and just go to the details. And the Americans must not forget that India actually has signed FTAs The one with the Brits happened fairly recently. There's one with the Europeans that's already in progress.
Right.
And both sides want that to happen.
Right.
We've heard S. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, say on record that whatever we are doing, India and Europe, let's get this done. So if there is a political direction on the Indo-Europe FTA, then clearly it's going to get done, regardless of who sets what at a lower level.
Yes.
So that's one. That's again something the Americans have to keep in mind, that India is going ahead. And the Europe is not a small market.
Yeah.
Britain may be 65 million people, but Europe has 350 million people, roughly the same as the United States.
Yeah. And
so these are things the Americans have to keep in mind.
And you know, Sridhar, the Americans, I'm sure, also realize that losing India or antagonizing India may strategically not be favorable for them. I want you to stay with us. Let's also break down another aspect of the same story, and this time once again, Peter Navarro making a comment about India-China relationship. He says, and I quote, "I don't think Modi felt comfortable standing together on stage with China." Now, this is what Peter Navarro says with regards to India and China. Now, remember, after the SCO, the pictures of the bonhomie that came in between Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Xi Jinping, and also Russian President Vladimir Putin, we saw how the Americans reacted. There was a moment when Donald Trump also posted saying that I think we lost India to China, and after that he came out and he said that, okay, I've spoken to my very good friend Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and now the trade talks are back on track. Let me go across to Ashok Sajjanar, who's joining us on the phone line. Good morning, Mr. Sajjanar. You know, Donald Trump's aide once again making a comment. One, he criticizes India on its deal with Russia with regards to oil. And now he says, I don't think Prime Minister Narendra Modi was very comfortable sharing stage with Xi Jinping. How do you respond to these kind of comments coming in from Donald Trump's aide?
I think they are in very poor taste, number one. Number two, they are laughable. I think Navarro, he provides, comic material definitely to people in India every morning. And, they have a good laugh when they read what he has said or what he has written. Because here when he says that Prime Minister Modi looked uncomfortable, I think he looked anything but that. He looked very comfortable. The bonhomie, the body language was very positive. I frankly didn't know that Navarro had, in the meantime, also taken a degree in psychoanalysis or something, that he could, just looking at a picture, he could say, how a person was feeling, comfortable, uncomfortable, happy, sad, or whatever it is. So I think his statements of this nature, as of some of the others, like Howard Lutnick and Scott Bessent, need not be given all that much of importance.
Right.
We have the chief negotiator from the United States in town today. It is not India that has gone to Washington, D.C. Asking for a meeting. It is the Americans who have come to prepare for the sixth round of negotiations. I think we should focus on that and just treat what Navarro says and Lutnick says, treat them as a sideshow.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ashok Sajjanar, for joining in with your views. Viewers, like Ashok Sajjanar said, it seems like Peter Navarro has taken some lessons in psychoanalysis. So just by looking at pictures, he is making comments, not just psychoanalysis. Seems like he's also done some body language studies.